Welcome back. Well, State Representatives Adrian Fisher and Pat Moore are urging people to get their flu shots. Today, they went to a Walgreens where people can get free shots while the supplies last. While its healthcare supervisor says it may be an active season.
So what we're seeing each year from the Southern Hemisphere predicts how severe the flu season can be. And we're seeing a huge increase in flu cases from the Southern Hemisphere, which will eventually trickle over to the Northern Hemisphere. So super important to get out to make sure that your families are protected. And whether you have insurance or not, we have free flu shots available, especially for those communities that are underserved.